These clips are really about a gap between America's reputation abroad and what people say after they arrive. Some visitors describe a country that feels friendlier, cleaner, and more welcoming than the media image they expected. Others point to guns, political conflict, and real reasons for concern. The key question is not whether America is simply good or bad, but which impressions survive first-hand experience, which are stereotypes, and which warnings remain supported by evidence. We'll compare broad media claims with everyday encounters, iconic landscapes, safety concerns, and the American dream.
America, you deserve and are owed an apology. And I'm going to say sorry on behalf of all the countries outside America and their media and the narrative they paint about America. Hundreds and thousands of fans for the World Cup are now seeing America through their own eyes, realizing the narrative they've been fed is false. And they're now realizing America is not the place that they thought it was. And I am sorry the media in these countries outside of America paints you the way they do. America is rich in culture, scenery, the people are amazing. And the media in the countries outside of America paint this weird narrative that it's a place that you shouldn't go. But now the tides are changing. There is a shift that is happening. And I'm sorry you've been painted in this light for so long. And I'm so happy America is finally receiving the flowers that it deserves. We've all seen the videos of the Europeans experiencing America for what it truly is. And it's amazing. When I first landed in America all those years ago, I came with an open mind. I saw it through my own eyes, and it's exactly what is happening right now with all the traveling fans for the World Cup and the foreigners. They are seeing America through their own eyes, and they're realizing how amazing it actually is.
The UK and the rest of Europe owe America one big apology. For years, they have been mocked. Americans are stupid. It's unsafe in America. They're all so rude. Why are their portion sizes so big? Why do they love their country so much? And now, because of the World Cup, people are going there and experiencing America firsthand. I am seeing thousands of videos from Brits, Dutch people, German people, talking about how friendly Americans are, talking about how clean it is, talking about how outstanding the atmosphere is. And I'm sat here thinking, 5 years ago, where was this energy? It was nowhere to be seen. So, do what's right. Apologize to the Americans, because now you understand. Now you have seen America firsthand. The mountains, the deserts, the people, the portion sizes, the trucks, the atmosphere. You will get stopped on the side of the road and have a heart-to-heart conversation because they're all genuine, lovely people. Apologize now.
Guys, I think we owe you a big apology, because what we think America's like, it's exactly not what it's like. Like, the news outlets in the UK say America's this, say America's that, say America's this, say America's that. I'm not going to get into detail, but listen, when you go to America, you actually see what it's like with your own two eyes. Honestly, people are so nice here. The hospitality is amazing. People are just so accommodating, and anything you want, they will do it. And the thing is, the people here are so nice, so polite, and in the UK, we think the complete opposite. We think people are not nice. We think it's very dangerous here. But it's not, guys. You need to go to America to experience it. Because if you're not, then you're missing out. You're 100% missing out of what it's like in the USA. So to me, to you, I give you guys a huge apology, because us Brits are missing out of the USA. Honestly.
One of the reasons all these videos about Europeans and foreigners coming to America and enjoying our culture so much, one of the reasons it's so great is because you have to remember that the media doesn't just lie about America in America. The media lies about America all over the world, right? So people all over the world are told about how dangerous America is. And then they come to America and they're like, oh my God, it seems incredibly safe here. And they're told about how awful America is. And then they see how amazing like our grocery stores are and our restaurants are, and how, our food portions, and they love the taste of the food. And so when all of you get is this constant leftist stream of negativity about America, because journalists tend to be Marxist and communist and anti-American and anti-capitalist, right? Journalists around the world hate America. And this is universal inside of America, and it's almost universal outside of America. And so for people to actually come and experience the culture and realize that their media has also been lying to them their whole lives, and sometimes it's hard for Americans to realize that our media has also been lying to us our entire lives. I know I had this realization when I was in college. So this is a very difficult thing for us to realize, and we live here. And so for foreigners to come and get to experience how amazing American culture is compared to the lies they've been told, and also compared to their own home cultures, is really encouraging, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Something I find really odd as an American backpacker is how much just like straight lies are perpetuated abroad about America and how unjustifiably hateful a lot of them are. Hear me out. There are a lot of things that are terrible about America, obviously. Like, our government is terrible. A lot of our people are also awful, but that is the case anywhere in the world. There are a lot of really bad governments. It particularly gets to me when someone from the United Kingdom has something to say about American politics. Like, please, you do not want to get into this with me right now. But I personally find it so frustrating, especially with like other travelers who just have these like, have never been to America and have these like preconceived notions about what America is like that are entirely unfounded. Like, we don't have math in school and there's no bread in our supermarkets. Like, you're just making things up and refusing to listen to people who actually live there. If people did this to other countries in the way that they do it to America, they would rightfully be called ignorant, closed-minded, hateful, whatever. And it is not lost on me that America is the target of this and is also one of the most multicultural and diverse countries in the entire world. And I'm someone that actually likes having like political discussion about like cultural differences, things that are good and bad about America. Like, I don't mind when someone wants to talk to me about America in a negative way, because there are so many things that are fair to criticize about America. But when people just come from a place of total ignorance and refuse to accept that, like, maybe I'm wrong about the fact that they only sell bottled sprayed cheese in supermarkets in America. Like, I just, like, what do you gain from that? Like, I thought people that you meet while traveling, like, wanted to learn about other cultures and become more open-minded and gain a better understanding of the world.
The strongest pattern here is not proof that the media lies, because several speakers make that claim without evidence. What is supported by the clips is narrower. People arrived with negative expectations, then reported friendlier streets, better hospitality, and more ordinary daily life than they imagined. The backpacker adds an important limit. False stereotypes can coexist with legitimate criticism. That distinction matters as we move from broad claims to specific encounters.
I've got to say, collectively, we owe the USA an apology. And when I say we, I mean the entire world. And that apology is needed purely because of how much judgment the world has thrown onto the US over the last few years. The American people are probably the most genuine, welcoming, humble people that I've ever met in my life. 100%, if you get the chance, go to the US and travel and see it for yourself. I promise you, you won't regret it.
You know what American girls are really, genuinely really good at, I've noticed? Giving compliments. I'm walking around and there's a bunch of girls, girl, I love your outfit, girl, your outfit is so cute. Genuinely, like, why don't we do that more in Europe? It's made my day. Thank you, girl, slay queen, all of those things, you know? Made my day. We should do that more often.
I feel like the American confidence gets a lot of criticism, but it's something that I've really appreciated as a foreigner. We were literally just walking Venice Beach and Joe sneezes and some guy comes up and he's like, oh, bless you. And then as we're walking along the beach, this lady comes up to me and she approaches me in such a like familiar, friendly way that I genuinely thought she was talking to someone else. And she said like, oh my God, I love your shirt. And by the time she'd kind of walked off, I kind of realized, oh shit, she was talking to me. And I turned around and quickly said thank you. But it was just the way she approached me. It was so easy. And it was like she was talking to a friend of hers, which is like why I was so confused.
So last night we slept outside this garage in a place called Brownstown, Illinois. When I went in, the amazing man at the counter instantly said, what the fuck is this all about? Very confused, as most people are. And after very briefly explaining the story, he said, wait 1 second. He turned round and I had no idea what he was doing. And this man wrote a cheque on the spot, a cheque for $200. And on the cheque, he wrote 3 words, importance of humanity. He said, that's not from me, and then pointed to the sky. I just want to say a massive thank you because that is the nicest thing ever.
The media portrays Americans as rude, lazy, all the above, and it's further from the truth. The amount of hospitality and kindness and care and pride Americans hold is truly like no other country I've been to. And to show you a perfect example of that, today is Flag Day, National Flag Day. And I went to the Huntsville Square. They did the whole ceremony where they lower the flag and I guess put a new flag up for the year. And that was obviously followed by the American national anthem. And it was just so nice to see everyone get their hat, take it off, and respect the country. The communities are so tight-knit together. And whilst I was there, of course, I was noticed because of my online presence now. And everyone came up to me and said, hi, handshakes, how are you? If you have any questions about this or that, let me know. If you want to go hunting, I'll show you this. Not to mention, I've got fantastic neighbours. And they are always coming over to see if I need anything. After specifically living in Arkansas for almost 6 years, I can safely say anyone outside of the US, ignore the media, because this is the best place I've been to. I love living here. I respect the culture here. And I'm so proud to be an American citizen. I'm just so grateful to be here, and I'm looking forward to the next 50 years that I have as my life in this country. And hopefully soon I'll be able to travel the country as well and experience all of it, because it's just wonderful.
Here the case becomes more concrete. Compliments from strangers, a casual bless you, neighbors offering help, and a $200 donation are individual stories, not national statistics. But they repeat the same social signal. Strangers are expected to engage. The Flag Day scene adds another layer. Community warmth is tied to visible patriotism. That helps explain why some visitors read American confidence as friendliness rather than arrogance.
Okay, I'm on the hunt for the best American neighborhood, and I might found it here in Pasadena. Check this out. Tell me this is not the most American neighborhood you've ever seen. Look at this house. What? It's like something out of a movie, guys. You can literally get books here. What? Free books, take a book and leave a book? Wow. That's like super friendly. I've never seen anything like that in England. Look at the house as well. I need to move to America. I need a house here in Pasadena.
If you're an American, you can probably not relate, but all this for European feels like we're right inside of a movie. Like these type of houses, of course with the American flag, or the little bench on the patio, so cute. I can totally see the pumpkins that will be placed here in fall. A lot of Europeans grow up watching American movies, and the scenery we only know from movies. This is why it feels so nostalgic, and I know it doesn't make any sense to Americans, but that's just how it is.
Welcome to the home of the giants. This is Redwood National Park, which has the biggest trees in the world, including the single tallest tree on the planet. These are absolutely ginormous. These trees are around 2,200 years old, older than Christ itself, so no wonder they are so tall. But this is actually amazing. This is completely different to anything we've experienced so far. Stand in front of that one there. I can't really show you guys how big this is without someone standing in front for perspective. This is Ethan. Look how small he looks. Oh my god, they are huge. Look at this, it's like 5 trees in one. It's actually hurting my neck. You've got to like break your neck to look up at these things. Just come to a tree called corkscrew tree, and it's got that name because it just twists the whole way up. It's like intertwined with this other one. How does that even happen? Couple of fallen over trees here. It shows you really how thick they are. This is one of the most mind-blowing places we've been on our whole trip. It might not look like it on camera, but I feel like you have to be here walking through all of this to know what I'm talking about.
The attraction is also visual. Pasadena streets and porch-lined houses feel familiar because many Europeans have seen them for years on screen. The redwoods create the opposite effect because their scale does not translate well through a camera. The National Park Service confirms that coast redwoods are the tallest trees on Earth, though giant sequoias are larger by volume. Some American images are overfamiliar before a trip, while the country's physical scale is easy to underestimate.
America's more peaceful. I know it's a different crime because they've got guns, but what do you think about the...
I would say it's more peaceful. When I visited there, it was a breath of fresh air where I think Britain's known for being quite, you know, not miserable, but everyone's like, what are you looking at and all this. America wouldn't do that. Like, they just, I don't know, there's something about them where they're just not like that. I would say in general safety of the countries between the two, I think we have to mention the Second Amendment, where I believe the Second Amendment obviously has its cons, but in itself, it's without a man bearing a gun, it's a silent title of that country. If you mess with someone, that type of avenue happens.
So you believe that you should have the right to protect your family?
Absolutely. I feel like I want to be very careful.
Don't you worry. I will never paint you in a negative light.
I think the general safety of this country is, you're both men, you both would have children and families yourselves. You would be scared to defend yourself in the climate of this country right now because of what's going on. Would people in Arizona feel the same way? No.
No?
No, they would not.
I don't think Americans in the United States realize how the rest of the world sees us. Let me give you an example. A while back, I was having a conversation with my friend. Now, my friend lives here in Mexico. She's Mexican, and her daughter was going to study in the United States, or thinking about going to study in the United States for university. And she was saying to me how worried she was for her daughter to go study in the US because it is so dangerous. She was like, I don't know, there's so much gun violence. I don't know if it's safe. I was saying to her, you should be fine, avoid these places at night, avoid these cities. And then as I was saying it, it hit me. As a US citizen that lives in Mexico, this is something that I hear all the time about going to Mexico. People will say to me, I don't like you going to Mexico, it's so dangerous. Did you see the news? But the same exact thing is being said and happening about people going to visit the United States, especially right now. Growing up, we're so indoctrinated to believe that we are so lucky to be born in the United States, this place where only we have freedoms and safety. But from the outside looking in, it's completely different. People see mass shootings, gun violence, police violence, and now a government restricting rights. And they worry for their people going to visit the...
Where are you from?
I'm from Paris, France.
What do people in France think about Americans?
I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody. They think that the situation of the country is like a little bit distressing, but still, we love Americans. It's the land of the free. It's the land of dreams. It's the land of everything's possible. It's still very much that feeling.
So do you believe in American dream?
I'm familiar with the concept. Do I believe in it? I don't know. I think it's an interesting idea.
Safety is where first-hand experience and national data must be kept separate. A visitor can feel completely safe in one neighborhood, while broader risks remain real. FBI estimates show violent crime fell 4.5% in 2024, but CDC data still recorded 44,447 firearm deaths that year. That does not validate every fearful stereotype, and it does not prove guns create safety. It shows why the French view can hold both ideas at once: affection for Americans and unease about the country's problems.
Another thing I've noticed by being here in America with dating is that you guys just don't like each other. Like, men say they would rather date internationally, and women say they just not impressed with the guys here. I've spoken with both, and you just guys don't like each other. And I think that's a massive problem. If you don't like the people in your own culture and in your own country, well, I don't understand why you guys are so nice here. It doesn't make any sense. But again, the standards are blurred. But yeah, you guys just don't like each other. Maybe you should work on that and start liking your own nation and your own people. Kind of make it work.
Taken together, these clips do not prove that America has been falsely portrayed across the board. They show something more useful. Reputation collapses when it treats a huge country as a single story. Repeated first-hand accounts support a pattern of easy social contact, generosity, strong local identity, and striking physical scale. Safety concerns and political criticism remain real, while the dating complaint shows that even people who admire Americans can spot internal tensions. The fairest conclusion is to replace caricature with specifics: where, compared with what, and based on which experience. Thanks for watching.